Are we close enough? Are we far enough away? I'm not quite sure. Of course I'm drinking coffee, girl. Let me just hop right into it. I need to be honest. I don't feel like I've been completely honest. But before I start with my whole spiel here, my name is Valencia. If you are new to my channel, a lot of my best friends know me already. I am a single mother of 4 children, and I tried to daily vlog. Change that up. I do daily vlog, but I'm just coming off of a break from YouTube because life got real, honestly. And I don't feel like I've been doing a great job at really showing you what's going on in my life. So it's not like she says she needs a break, but she doesn't look like she needs a break. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like you guys get to see what's really going on in my life. And I know it's a protective thing that I've done, you know, to not even like protect myself or whatever, because in order to be on here on YouTube, you really have to be super transparent and have nothing to hide, because things come up and come out. So I can't say protecting like those things, but just protecting my spirit and my heart, because you can really easily be broken on this platform, and you have to have thick skin. So I don't think I was able to be completely honest with you guys because my skin was not thick enough for it at the time. So anyway, here we go. So I am a single mom. Somebody asked me during my Instagram live feed what it's like to be a single mom, and honestly, it's tough. I'm not gonna shoot the crap with you and be like it is rainbows, unicorns, sprinkles of glitter, and all these things. Especially if you didn't plan to be a single parent. Hear me out. Because there are different forms of single parenthood. There are surrogacies, you know, for women who haven't found a person to be with, but they still want to have that experience, right? Or you don't even have to have a surrogate. You can just have had in vitro fertilization, whatever. However, that was a choice, and you can prepare yourself for raising your children on your own because you're going into it expecting to be alone. So for me, in my life, I did not expect to build such a big family to run it on my own. And I don't have any bad feelings about it, you know, or bitter feelings about it. I can say in the process that I went through, I was extremely hurt that this thing that I built, these lives that I brought into the world, that I expected to have another, you know, counterpart, to be that counterpart in their lives daily, is not there daily. Whether you didn't want to be with the person or not, or the person didn't want to be with you or not, that was not the original plan. Otherwise, you would have never gotten to point B, where I'm at right now, is being a single parent, if I didn't have plans to be with a person and bring these beautiful children into the world. So, honestly speaking, you guys, it was tough in the beginning to even deal with that aspect, that what I thought was going to be my life and last was not, okay? That was a hurdle to get over, right? So I live with my mother. I know it sounds like I'm telling this story for the 10th million time, but there are new viewers and there are some people who've never heard this. And so then when I get to live with my mother, it is, okay, let's learn how to prepare myself to live on my own. That was a hurdle, okay? because I was not a person who had ever had anything in my name, okay? I never had an apartment in my name. Had a car in my name, but I never had a light bill in my name. Never had a credit card in my name. I was very, very wholeheartedly unprepared. So my situation where I'm in was completely unplanned single parenthood. And I think it is unrealistic to expect for somebody to just get it just like that, to learn how to be a great single parent. It takes a moment. I mean, I've been living on my own, seems like forever, but it will be 1 year in November. 1 year in November. I am 30, I'll be 33 this year. 1 year in November out of all my years living, okay, and I've lived, which 33 ain't old, it's real young. This was the first year of my life that I've been on my own. And not only that, the first year of my own, being on my own, I have 4 extra mouths to feed and extra responsibility. I feel like in your 20s, most people live on their own. They figure those things out, whatever, woo woo. But it just so happens in my life, it came later. Now, I'm not asking for a pity party, you know, but these are the cards that are laying in front of me. This is the cause and the effect, right? So now I'm on my own for a year and just getting into a routine, okay, a schedule of knowing how to do it all on your own. Not having to pick up the phone and call somebody and be like, can you come help me because I'm tired? Or can you come make dinner for me because I got to go to work? Thank God I work from home, right? But even still, I work from home. I work. Can you help me pay this bill? You know, can you help me at all? And you really have to prepare yourself to be completely independent, not just only for yourself, okay, but for all of your children. Number one, if you are a mom out there, even if you married, single, whatever, it's a tough job. Not a tough job to be a crappy parent, but it's a tough job to be a great parent. To give your children faith, to give your children compassion, to give your children respect, to show your children love, and to give them none of the other negative things that come later in life. So they're young right now. So you really have to be, as a single parent, the embodiment of perfection. And that's completely unrealistic. And honestly, I don't feel like kids need to know everything. They don't need to know everything. But I do feel like when they've come from a home with 2 parents, right, their whole lives, and then they have to get through it to get to the other side of just being in a single parent home, you have to have real conversations like, okay, this is what it really is. Mommy's here. She needs you to, you know, step up your game. You're going to be delegated to do these things, because I don't have anybody that's coming home at night to help me out. I don't have anybody in the morning to roll over and be like, hey, help me get the kids dressed. You know, help me pack a lunch. Help me do anything. I don't have that. By the grace of God, I have wonderful, wonderful, wonderful parents who from time to time say, you know, drop the kids off. But that's very far and few in between. That's very far from at least my experience with my parents. And I love my parents, but they just aren't the parents who are going to be like, drop your kids off. It's more like you're coming with your kids to hang out. You know what I mean? It's not drop your kids off and go have a day to yourself. It's more like drop your kids off and go be productive. You know, it's not drop your kids off and go take a nap. It's not that. It's in order for me to drop my kids off, I have to be doing something extremely productive. And that's okay with me because my parents worked very hard to get where they're at. They raised us to be very independent people, you know. And I feel like that's the only way that I'm surviving now. But realistically, I do get tired, you know. I love it all. I love everything that I do on YouTube. I love my kids, but I do get tired. And I don't enjoy trying to portray that I'm like this perfect mom that cooks 7 days a week, gives my kids vegetables every single day, you know, and pretend like I never hit up that drive-through, aka McDonald's, or that I'm up at 5 o'clock every single morning being completely perfect and I'm just looking beautiful. A lot of mornings I wake up and I look a hot piping mess, and my breath is a reflection of that in the morning time. You know what I'm talking about? So just a realistic point of view, being a single parent is tough. And then the things that you deal with. Not only are you dealing with, you know, what you thought your life was going to be, now it's not. You're past that, honey. I'm past that, okay? I am really glad that I'm in this point of peace. When I come home, I'm not arguing with nobody, child. I'm not wondering where nobody is. You know, I'm not wondering, do I got to roll over, lay on my back for somebody? You know, I don't have to feel unappreciated. If anything, I don't appreciate myself and all the work that I'm doing. I can give myself a pat on the back. But I have complete peace. And I know that a future relationship will come. You know what I mean? But still, you have other things to deal with, like your children. How long have I been talking? Do I need to make this a second video? You have other things to deal with, like your children as well. So the hurdles that you go through in the beginning can be just your kids adjusting the same way that you had to adjust, right? So you're dealing with your load, and then your kids' load, and you times that by how many ever children you have, pummel me down. And then you have to literally pick yourself up and rise to the occasion. Okay? So dealing with children through it, especially when kids are used to not necessarily a parent like being there at all the activities, because let's be honest, I was with somebody who was in the military, so they weren't around. I was used to them not being around. But what was a frequent thing was that the person, you know, would come home at night and be another person in the home. So when that goes away for your children, not for me, honey, okay, because I have my own thoughts and opinions, but when that goes away, right, that missing link for your children, no matter what type of person they were in the household, it is a missing link. And so then your children start to see that other kids have that link at school. And then you have these conversations. Oh my gosh, I was watching another YouTube girl. I think her name is Jay Weezy, Jordan Cheyenne. Oh my gosh. But she put up a video recently about her son, you know, getting in the car and being upset and kind of hurt that all the other kids, or some of the kids, because there's a whole bunch of kids in your kid situation, okay? All the other kids, dads came to pick them up from school from time to time. And that is a very common conversation that single moms have to have. So I'm not trying to single her out. I love her channel and I love her conversations. And I feel like I can relate to her and the things that she says, because I know I've had that same conversation with my child and I felt the same way. Hurt that I couldn't do anything about it, and hurt that I'm never going to be enough. I'm only going to be the mom. I'm never going to be the dad. I can't. But what I can explain to my children, is that even though you have only me and you don't have that person all the time, your life is still normal. There's nothing that makes you less than. You are still equally great, and you are going to be more than great. And you're going to understand when you grow up the value of family and what that means and what love means and compassion and respect for people. So those conversations are tough, and you kind of have to just put your mom armor on and just be like, okay, we're going to have these conversations. And you really have to be okay with yourself inside and everything that's happened, you know, to get you to the point that you even have to have these conversations. Because that stuff really brings up like old feelings, like, oh, I wouldn't have to have these conversations with my kids if, and you can't think like that. You really have to be progressive and think, how am I going to help my child feel that, you know, this life is just as normal as the previous life was. And it's the same thing that adults go through. You really have to get yourself out of the funk to say that, you know what, this life is just as normal and just as fruitful as the previous life was. So that's, you know, some things that I deal with as a parent. And that doesn't always require you throwing your child into a therapy session. You know what I mean? You have to be able to have these conversations with your children. You have to be able to talk to them and show them love and compassion and have a listening ear. Because if they can't talk to you about it, who are they going to be able to talk to about it? If you can't be neutral about it, you know, if you can't be unbiased about it and give them something to really be fruitful from so that they can feel better about themselves, then that's something you're going to have to work on as a single mom. And that's something that I had to work on as a single mom. It's not taking, you know, how I felt about it and then really getting bummed out and like, oh my gosh, I had to have this conversation with my kid. I mean, afterwards, I think every mom is like, ooh, child, pour me a glass of chamomile tea with a little shot of something in it, because that was a tough conversation. That's tougher than the birds and the bees as to why are all the other kids' parents around and mine isn't, you know? And you really have to be the fluffer of fluffiness. Like, well, you know, things happen in life. And you see, I'm a straight shooter. I'm like, look, this is our situation. I'm here with you. I love you. And you're going to get through whatever feelings that you have. But you have to know that you are a whole person and you have a whole family, no matter what it looks like. So don't let what other people have make you feel like you have nothing when you really have everything. Y'all, my kids are blessed, okay? My kids are blessed. They are in after-school activities, which ain't cheap, okay? They live in a very, very prominent neighborhood. They go to a A+ school. People lie just to say that they live in this area. You know, I bust my butt to give my kids the best. I really do. And that makes me feel proud as a parent. But I just feel like I haven't been able to, like, sit down and be honest and have these conversations with y'all. I don't know why. Probably just the fear of being judged. And there are always going to be people who feel like you could do everything completely different or their way. And their way makes them feel like it's the best thing for you. But honestly and truly, you have to do what is good for you because it's your life. This is my life. And you never know how your story and how you feel can relate. I never know why I get on here and have these conversations until afterwards. There's somebody down the comment section and they're like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear this. So today, maybe a mom out there needs to hear that you're going to have tough conversations with your kids. Don't let it get you down. You are great. You are flipping awesome. You will have days when you feel like you're tired, you have nobody to call on, and you just really just want to just throw your wig out the window in the parent pickup lane because you're just tired, girl. And that's okay. It's completely normal. Do not drive yourself insane to make you feel like you cannot do it. You're doing it. You're doing a great damn job. And if there is nothing else that you take away from this, girl, is I can't even say make time for yourself, because I do understand you might not be able to make time for yourself, but you're whole. Your life is whole. Your experience is whole. And it doesn't make you any different from anybody else. And it's okay to have these conversations out loud. And I think a lot of times as single moms, you feel like you can't talk about this. People are going to judge you. People are going to think you're an ungrateful parent. You don't want people to think that you're being an ungrateful parent. No, you're grateful. I'm grateful to have my kids. There is not a day that I wake up and I don't thank God for my children. And there's not a day that I don't wake up and I don't thank God that I'm able to, you know, provide for my children in a very sufficient way. And budgeting helps. That's one thing. Budgeting helps. And that's a whole another topic. But yeah, I just wanted to have an honest conversation with you guys with what it's like being a single parent, and you go through these steps to be able to be a very high functioning single parent, you know? Because in the beginning, if you didn't expect the situation, it's like your world has been turned upside down. Like, you know, one of them fun houses, and they put you in the room, and the room is literally upside down, the furniture is on the ceiling, and you're like, well, how am I going to get back up there? How am I going to turn these things around? Trust me, it will turn around. It does get better. And a couple of years from now, like myself, you will look back and be amazed at the person that you become, the woman that you become, the provider for your kids. It is really an amazing feeling. You know, it's really an amazing feeling. So don't beat yourself up, and don't make yourself feel like, you know, because you're tired that, you know, this is crazy. You know, you're not supposed to feel this way. You're so, you know, you're so ungrateful, you're so unstable, you're all these things. No, you're great. And I'm going to keep saying it. You're great. And I'm having this conversation for myself to tell myself that I was great, because I was really beating myself up about a whole bunch of things. And I'm just like, girl, after I was able to rest, I realized I needed the rest. Otherwise, I was just gonna fall out on the floor and bust my head open to the white meat show. Like, you need your rest. Some days your house is gonna be messy. Every dish won't be clean. Get you some paper plates. I know people don't want to hear it, but if you know that washing dishes at nighttime is a real issue, girl, get you some paper plates. I guess I was just tired out, and I had a series of unfortunate events to happen in my family and just everything, you guys. And then you just can't walk through life and pretend like nothing is happening. You have to be open and honest so that you can get through those things in life, to be like, okay, now you know what, all these things are happening. How am I going to get through this? Because you will have a moment where you just break. And I had a moment where I needed to take a break from YouTube. But I feel like I've rambled enough about life in general, and I hope to have these future conversations with you guys a lot more. And I just hope that my vlogs reflect really what's going on in my life, instead of just, you know, trying to be so damn perfect, because no one's perfect. And I appreciate you guys for listening. Okay, I really do. And I will see you guys later. Well, sooner. I will see y'all sooner rather than later. My hair has grown, you guys. Wearing it out. What y'all think? What y'all think about the hair? I gotta go tend to my kids. And thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this candid conversation. Leave a comment down below if there's a topic that you want to talk about. Actually, I pull my topics from my Instagram lives. I'll keep it that way as an incentive for everybody who really just comes over there just to say, hey, I got kids, I gotta go. But yeah, thank you for the question from my IG best friend about what it's like being a single mom. I appreciate that. And I will see y'all sooner rather than later. I got to get these kids and travel on down to Gigi's house.